Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to break down this exact reel from Houston Kold.
The most Google man on earth is telling you to join the real world. The famous high school dropout is telling you to start an agency. And the crypto millionaire is telling you to join his club.
So the first step is to create a new composition. Make it 1080 by 1920. Make sure it's vertical composition. And name it whatever you want. Then I created a new solid. Applied gradient ramp effect to it. It's simple, two red colors. Then we have this flash transition. So all the assets of the video are in the description. You can download it for free. Then we have Andrew Tate's image coming in and the text and Google search bars. And we have some things going on in the back as well. Then we have this text effect. Then we have Andrew Tate's video. Okay, so let's break down this scene. So after getting a background, take a Andrew Tate image. I've taken this one. I rotoscoped the image because original image had a background also and I didn't want the background. So after pre-composing the image, I got this. Then I've applied levels to it just to make it a little bit darker. Then I've applied Sapphire Edge Blur. This is a paid plugin from Sapphire. So it basically does is it will blur out the edges. The image will look a little bit smooth. If you can see here, this is the effect and this is without the effect. Then we have a text. So this is a uppermost text is a simple normal text. Then we've Bebas new font and it's in red color. And then we have this text. So this text is italic and it have drop shadow and it also has this opacity animation. So to create this animation, I'll do it on this text. All you have to do is go to text, go to animate, add opacity, make sure the opacity is 0, open the range selector 1, start is 100, keyframe the end position like that, then easy is the keyframe, and now you have something like this, you see. But as you can see, the text is animating character by character, but we have to make it word by word. So it's pretty simple. Go to advanced, then based on change from character to words, something like this. You can select the animator one, go to animation and save animation preset. I already have it, so I'll just delete this. So you have this text and then you have this Google icons. So these Google icons, I first masked them out because the original image had a background also. So then I pre-composed them, then I made them 3D and I changed their rotations. So this is what the rotation value is. So it is based because I wanted to change the X rotation and Y rotation as well. And for this as well, I changed the rotation, something like this. Then we have the camera. We have the first camera. So the first camera starts from here and then it goes back, something like this. And the graph of the camera, it looks like this.
The most Google man on earth is telling.
And then we have, so you can see clearly that there is something going on in the background, right? You can see that in the original video as well. First of all, there is this image of Andrew Tate. So I rotoscoped the image and I got it something like this. Then I have applied a tritone effect to make its color like this, and then optics compensation just to make it a little bit wider, then unique glitch to just stylize the image a little bit. You can see here it looks a little bit glitched if you look closely. Then we have another Andrew Tate image. I didn't apply the glitch effect, but I applied keyframe to optics compensation. So if you can see here, there are a lot of keyframes, but these are some opacity keyframes and scale keyframes and optics compensation keyframe. So what I did is I first made optics compensation slightly less then increased it because I wanted to have some effect like this, if you can see here, as it is in the original video. Then increased the value more, and then we have an increased bit more, and then that's it. And then here we started camera movement, so we attached this camera to the null object and we created this effect. So you have to understand these things, guys. So this thing called as keyframe overlapping, right? So before the movement of first camera ends, you have to add another keyframe so that camera movements look smooth. That's what I did here, right? So here you have to did here, right? Next, for 4 frames, 1 2 3 4, this is a simple text. Just most googled man on earth just increased its size, and yeah, all of this is 3D. And then there's this overlay effect. This is a simple overlay just to stylize the video a little bit. I also applied cross blur effect just to blur this when it transitions. So yeah, if you can see something like this. This is cross blur, something like this. And then we have annotate speaking. So we have background change here. This was the red background, and then this is completely dark background. Then we have this annotate footage. This is also a green screen footage. You can find it in the description. Yeah, and it's 3D as well. If you can see that this red light, Houston uses a lot in his videos, so it's pretty simple how to create this. So let's first understand what are these adjustment layers are. So first of all, I added a BCC prism effect. Then we have optical flares. So this optical flares is this red light. So you have to go to options and choose these global parameters. You can find it in motion graphics. You can use many things from here. And then I added vignette, 2 vignette in the first scene and only 1 vignette in this scene because the background is already dark. And then we have BCC film grain just to stylize the video a little bit. And that's it. Then we go to the next scene. We have Iman Ghazi. So I added some brightness and contrast effect. And then we have here, I added a mask. So the mask path first I made like this, and in the second keyframe the mask path is completely opened. And then you have to go to the keyframes, right click and toggle hold keyframe. So that's why it will go from this to this. And then we have this second image, we have third image, we have fourth image. Then we have this video where he's dropping out of college. So I applied looks to the video just to color grade a little bit. And then we have this video where he's trying to sell his course, and this is a simple video. Then we have this adjustment layer. So it's a sapphire flicker effect. You can copy these settings, and this gives this kind of flicker effect to the video. And we have transform. So what transform is I'll explain it. So if you go from here, then there's a zoom animation from here to here. So that's why I've made a pre-comp and then added transform on the adjustment layer. So if you go here, you can see there are 2 texts. The first one is simple this, and it's a simple opacity keyframes. And then this agency, I applied deep glow effect to it. And in here, so in here you have to apply tint effect. So it's just sharpen and looks, but other than that there's a tint effect. Then go to amount of tint and keyframe the amount of tint from 0 to 100. You have to do it in 1 keyframe because it's like a shock, right? It looks like this.
An agency.
It looks cool. So that's it. Then we go to this scene. This is an interesting scene. This we have first this image. So this is a image, original image. Then I have duplicated this image and rotoscoped the image. So we have something like this, and then applied tint effect and made it black and white. So this is basically our background, and this is our character. This is original image. So what you have to do is you have to add first tint effect and make sure the tint is something like this, and then motion tile just to increase the size of the image, then tritone effect and levels just to play around and make sure it's a little darker. Then this image you have to apply same levels, make sure it's darker, and then tritone and another levels to play around. Then I added this overlay again. This is just to stylize the video, and then another this flare, optical flare, and then we have the camera movement. So this is 3D. If you can see, this is 3D, and these dollars also all 3D, which you'll see later. So you have to add the camera effect. Make sure the position is something like this, and it will go to something like this. It will just move forward a little bit, and here you have to add a null object and change the position from here to here. And with this you have to add these dollars in the background. So these dollars are, I just added this shiny effect to make it a little bit more good, otherwise it was just a normal dollar. So in this you have if you can see, so in this you have to add position animator. So if you can see, I added this position animator and opacity animator as well. Make sure the start is 100 and keyframe the end position. So end I have added from 25 to 100. Position is from down to up, if you can see closely. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the text. Then we have another null object, which previous null object is attached to this null object, and this keyframe starts from here and then it goes to here. So this is where the website screenshot of the website that we have is something like this. Yeah, that's pretty simple. And we have flash transition. So if you see closely, we've added a lot of effects to this video. The first is the wiggle effect, and these are the settings 1 and 8. Then we have BCC film grain just to stylize a little bit, then vignette and optical flares. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, from here when it goes to here, we have to set the keyframes of the opacity in the background from 100 to 0, something like this. It looks good. So if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. So if you want me to create a complete video from scratch, just comment down below and I'll try to make it. Thank you.